The NBA now following the NFL and NHL issuing a memo to its players, warning them that they may be targets of an international burglary and theft ring. It follows reporting about the FBI working with local law enforcement agencies across the country to determine if a recent string of burglaries at the homes of some of the biggest names in sports is connected to a transnational crime ring. Here with us is NewsNation law and justice contributor and former FBI special agent Jennifer Coffindaffer. Jennifer, welcome back. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Hena.
So when looking at this from your FBI background, your experience, what connections would lead law enforcement to believe that these burglaries are not only connected, but it could be a transcontinental ring?
Well, there's lots of connections. First, the targets. The targets are all like in terms of being very in the pro sector. They also have a lot of money. In addition, if you look at what was stolen, these aren't just normal items that are stolen. These are sports memorabilia, which would be very hard to fence, Hena, as well as jewelry. In addition, if you look at the timing of all these happening one after another, and finally, the fact that they've actually found some items as far away as Rhode Island. Where are those other items at? It shows that this is a very organized ring.
So in several of these cases, there were other homes in the very same neighborhood that were targeted on the same night. What do you think when you hear that, Jennifer?
Well, these organizations are super smart. They actually elicit individuals that have a relation to the home where they're going to target. So you're looking at housekeepers, possibly pool keepers, people who take care of the grounds. Those individuals have the insider information. So when you see that other homes are also targeted as law enforcement, I'd be looking at what links there are to these homes.
So investigators believe these burglaries, and you just mentioned this, they appear to be highly calculated, well organized, using drones and signal jamming devices. What does that tell you about this group committing these crimes?
Well, they are organized, Hena. This isn't just two guys that woke up or some juveniles that are going into a neighborhood. No, they're able to get into the neighborhood, these gated communities. They're able to either block with their signal blockers, the Wi-Fi leading from those homes to the ADT or whatever is guarding those homes. They're also able to get in and out without detection. It tells me that they've done a lot of surveillance to make this a positive hit.
Like we mentioned, officials do believe a transnational crime group is targeting these players. Tell us why they would even think that, and how do you try to track these criminals down?
Well, you start tracking. First of all, they had one of the biggest breaks in the case, Hena, by recovering Kelce's watch. Now they can work backwards from that. Where was that watch? How was it recovered? And they're going to go backwards. But in addition, they're going to be looking at the inner workings of everyone who is involved with those homes. Who provided the insider information that they wouldn't be there? Remember, Hena, it wasn't just when players were playing. Sometimes players were watching other sporting events, Hena. So they have all the clues necessary. Plus, the reason they think this is an international type situation is because of the sophistication, the surveillance, the jammers, everything used to complete these crimes.
You mentioned Travis Kelce's watch being located in Rhode Island. How likely is it, Jennifer, that more items will be recovered?
Oh, they'll be recovered, Hena. It's just going to be a slow process. Typically, of course, these thieves, they're not the ones selling anything other than to fencers. It's a large, typically fencing organization that has buyers that are willing to buy these items, in some cases well knowing they're probably stolen, such as Kelce's Super Bowl jersey.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.